fan's heart is full of hate. He butters, cries, and a dark shadow falls over this troll. From the ashes of a once great fandom has risen a meme, an LOL that must be liked. We look to the airwaves for a vindicator, someone to strike fear in the dark basement of the parents who created him. The battle between fan and Smark has begun. With a head on his shoulders stands the Smark fan, a speaker of truths, with a voice of silence and a radio show of justice. This is Ring Rust.
This is Fanboy Mark Cerrone. You are listening to Ring Rust on 315 CHMR-FM. Since My Future Ex-Wife number 20, AJ Lee, announced her retirement from WWE last week, the main rumor going around is that the three-time Divas champion had left the company due to the ongoing lawsuit by Dr. Chris Amon against her husband, CM Punk. She informed the company of her departure after WrestleMania 31. Her retirement has nothing to do with the rumors going around that she is pregnant. That would explain why AJ, who has problems with numerous people in the locker room and isn't high on Stephanie McMahon's list of friends, was booked to win via submission over Divas champion Nikki Bella the night of WrestleMania. The plan was to set her up for a title program with Nikki, but when she announced her retirement, it was Naomi who ended up pinning the champ twice in as many weeks.
And I quote,
check out the TMZ of professional wrestling news. And I quote, on Facebook, all the latest news with some attitude, new and classic wrestling videos, and so much more.
Can I have your attention, please? I just received an email from the Raw general manager.
In what could be a sign that John Cena will be having a lengthy United States title run, reports are circulating that WWE is designing a new title belt for the Doctor of Thugonomics. Artwork for the new title design is reportedly already completed, and WWE has submitted the artwork for the new title. The Chang Gang commander requested the new title personally. So, is it going to be another spinner? I kind of like the U.S. title spinner. More so than the WWE heavyweight title spinner, but, you know, personal. Well, then they kept the same belt, but it didn't spin anymore, which kind of made it a little bit pointless. Well, it made it a lot pointless. Well, the whole thing was pointless to begin with, I suppose, but...
Best friends are trustworthy, reliable, loyal, giving, helpful, protective, always there when you need them. Medical Alert membership protects you 24 hours a day, anywhere in the world. For member information, call 1-800-668-1507. Your best friend in a medical emergency.
Something interesting came across my desk via the CHMR's Ring Rust Facebook page, via one of the other actual Facebook pages I'm a member of. I saw that... out of Germany, apparently, there's a website called cagematch.net, which is basically an internet wrestling database. So, wow, okay. I have yet to actually fully explore it. I'm just really getting a feel for it right now. I just registered for it to see if I can submit my show as one of their podcasts, because apparently they have podcasts on there. I don't know if you would post it directly to the site, or you just post a link to the site from your original and it gets more traffic to your podcast, I guess. We'll find out, I guess, after I've fully registered and have a look around. I wonder if they have videos on there. Because, like a lot of people, of course, a couple of weeks ago, before WrestleMania, you know, I sat down to watch some WrestleManias. Unfortunately, I only got one watched, because I had a lot of other stuff going on, and I just didn't have the time to watch anything else other than WrestleMania 22, which was a pretty good WrestleMania. It's alright. It wasn't really great, I suppose. It had that infamous Mickie James, Trish Stratus, part of Mickey's hand got scooped in somewhere while she was trying to do a body slam, and then, yeah. Anyway, I'm sure I'm not the only person that was the one thing that took away from that match. This is Fabio Marchironi. You're listening to Ring Rust on 93.5 CHMR-FM.
Impact Wrestling, Fridays at 9, 8 Central on Destination America.
So the new film, Get Hard, I am doing stunts in it. I have been doing stunts for a couple of years, and I had a great friend of mine who's a stunt coordinator call me, ask me if I wanted to do a Will Ferrell movie. Of course, the answer is yes. I was actually, I got the call 2 weeks after I had my baby, so I was a little nervous about working that soon because it ended up, we filmed it 4 weeks after I had my baby. So it was definitely a really cool experience. You know, I love doing stunts. So it was one of those things that I knew that I just had a baby, but I said, I'm going to do everything that I can to get back into shape and to be able to perform stunts in this movie. Working with people like Will Ferrell and Kevin Hart is so much fun. You know, I think working on a comedy in general is just fun time. Usually, like, the crew and everybody's just a little bit more laid back. But they are comedic geniuses. So how can you not have fun? I mean, there's times that you're sitting there and they're talking and you're doing everything you can not to bust out laughing while you're filming a scene. So whether that's pinching yourself or biting a hole in your tongue, you have to do something because they're so funny. The funniest between Kevin Hart and Will Ferrell. I'm going to have to go with Will Ferrell. I mean, I've been a fan of Will Ferrell since he's been on SNL. So there's something about him. I've been watching him forever. So he, to me, is the funniest. There's just something about his sense of humor that just gets me. I mean, I've watched him in movies like Talladega Nights and Step Brothers, and I mean, he's hysterical. But I mean, Kevin Hart, obviously, in his own right, is amazing. All of his stand-up stuff is just downright funny, and it's so real. But both of them are amazingly funny, and it's an honor to work alongside of them. Well, I have a ton of movies coming out. I'm always working. I just worked on NCIS New Orleans. In the fall, I've got another Will Ferrell movie coming out called Daddy's Home, which some of you may have seen a scene where a cheerleader gets knocked in the head by a basketball. And of course, you can always see me Friday nights, 9, 8 Central on Impact Wrestling on Destination America.
But what part was she doing in... Okay, I don't know. I don't remember. I saw the movie a couple of weeks ago with a couple of friends. I don't recall a whole lot of scenes that had a woman doing action things. Except maybe the prison break simulation? She could have been in there. That's the only thing I can think of. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. The one with the, where there's a monkey and Will Ferrell ends up with the spike or whatever it is stuck inside his head. But anyway. So that was my future ex-wife number 13, Taryn Terrell from TNA Wrestling, of course, talking about how she's doing stunt work and loving it.
You there!
What's your story?
I'm Ernie Devlin, and I don't question it.
Oh, I like that. Don't budge. I'm taking your mind. Mind encryption, perhaps?
Pure electricity in my pants.
Oh, my.
You're listening to Atlantic Canada's only source of wrestling news radio. Ring Rust on CHMR 93.5 FM. Weirdo.
According to Curtis Axel, this is the upcoming pay-per-view schedule for WWE. After Axelmania is Extreme Rules, Pay Baxel, Money into Baxel, Baxel Ground, Summer Axel, Night of the Axels, Axel in the Cell, Cervaxel Cervies, I don't know, Tables, Ladders, and Axels.
Hey, this is Chris Jericho, the highlight of the night, and you're listening to Ring Rust, right here at 93.5 FM.
Now time for this week's Macho Facts. Randy Savage tugged on Superman's cape, spit in the wind, pulled the mask off the old Lone Ranger, and messed around with Jim, all at the same time. And the Macho Man knows 51 ways to leave your lover.
This is Fatboy Mark Jabroni. You are listening to Ring Rust on 93.5 CHMR-FM. What you gonna do when a former wrestling star allegedly threatens to kill you? Well, if you're Hulk Hogan, you call the cops, because that's exactly what happened during an alleged incident in San Jose involving Hulk's former wrestling ally, Scott Steiner. Hulk's wife Jennifer flew into San Jose for WrestleMania on March 26th and claims Steiner grabbed her at baggage claim and said he plans to, quote, kill Terry, unquote, which is Hulk's real name, not the kill part, but the Terry part, as soon as he lands. Sources close to the Hogans say Jennifer didn't recognize Steiner and called Hulk immediately, who took the next flight to SJ and went with her to file a police report early the next morning. Cops are now investigating Steiner for felony terrorist threats, and so far officials have already gathered airport surveillance video, which is said to show Steiner confronting Jennifer. As for Scott, he's been very public about his dislike of Hogan for years and blames him for the demise of WCW wrestling, where Freakzilla and the Hulkster were allies in the NWO. Attempts were made to reach out to Big Papa Pump for comment, who said, typical Hogan, he's just a punk. And then on TMZ.com it shows this picture of the NWO back in the day. And let's see how many people are still around, shall we? Well, from left to right, we got Horace Hogan, who's somewhere, I'm sure. Vincent, the aforementioned Vincent sitting at that table with the long shot and nobody waiting in line to see him. Buff Bagwell, who's making the rounds of the independent circuit. Brian Adams, who died a number of years ago. Miss Elizabeth, who also died a few years ago. Scott Norton, who is, I think, still kicking around. Kevin Nash, who just this year got inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. Lex Luger, the aforementioned Miss Elizabeth, cause of, and Scott Steiner. Oh, and of course Hulk Hogan is kneeling down there in the front. So, yeah, it's an interesting picture, flashback to like the late 90s, early 2000s when, you know, when it was fun, but then again there were two big companies competing with each other, so that kind of made it fun. I don't know. It's noticeably less fun, but it's still, to me anyway, watchable. I mean, I can't remember the last time I sat down and studied Raw or anything. I mean, I used to, on my old website, I used to do results. I used to type up my own results. I just sit down and actually watch and say, okay, what did he just say? And I'd rewind it and then type it up. And anyway, that was alright, I guess. I don't think I got very much feedback on it. I don't think I got any feedback from it. I don't think very many people knew I had a website. Maybe I should have hollered a bit more. USA Network is about to be the go-to spot for WWE. SmackDown is making the move to the network next year. USA already airs Monday Night Raw for 3 hours each week and will be the home of WWE Tough Enough once the reality competition show returns for its sixth season on June 23rd. Since its 1999 debut, SmackDown has broadcast over 800 episodes, earning it the title of television's second longest running weekly episodic program, first place belonging to a Monday Night Raw, of course. The show will begin airing on USA in early 2016. So, yay? Well, I mean, I'm sure other networks around the world are, you know, the only network in that particular part of the world that airs all WWE programming. Like here in Canada, Sportsnet 360 airs Raw and SmackDown and Main Event. Used to air NXT, but then they switched over to Main Event. I guess they just wanted NXT on the network, I guess, but I don't know. So, I guess we'll see how that works out for them.
Okay, guys, let's go!
Hi, I'm Michael Christopher.
And this is Gerald D. O'Neill.
And we're the fraternity of the Provincial Wrestling Alliance.
You're listening to Ring Rust on CHMR 93.5 FM.
Faculty lunch, and we're up in school. They call us nerds, cause we're so uncool.
It's flapping behind me. Everybody attack the base, I'll hide here.
Dead man walking.
Atlantic Canada's only source for wrestling news radio. You're listening to Ring Rust on CHMR 93.5 FM.
This is Fanboy Mark Jabroni. You are listening to Ring Rust on 93.5 CHMR-FM. One of the things I posted at the CHMR's Ring Rust Facebook page was a link to the 20 hottest WWE divas. It includes a lot of NXT divas as well. One, of course, that's seen on the list was Lana, who's actually just finished up filming that movie with WWE Hall of Famer Edge for WWE Studios, and she should be back regularly on television fairly soon. Like me on Facebook, tinyurl.com/ringrust. Follow me on Twitter @MarkJabroni. And subscribe to Jarbronology TV, youtube.com/fanboymarkjabroni. That's it for another show, kiddies. Check me out on Facebook, where you can keep track of all the news that's right on the mark, from around ringside to the latest concerts. See you at the shows. Later days.
This is 93.5 CHMR-FM.